All right, so today we're looking at point slope form. So we had slope intercept last time. Point slope form, you can see you're given a little bit of different information. So the slope is still the same, but in this case, instead of having the y-intercept, I just have any point on the line. So if I'm all right, so let's go ahead and look at number 1. Okay. So just to kind of copy the formula back down, it was y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1, okay? And I can kind of fill in these parts. So I know my ordered pair is going to fill in for the x1 and y1, and obviously the m is going to fill in for the m. So now when I'm copying here, I have y minus y1 for my ordered pair is 3, okay, equals m, that's given to me as 1/4, parentheses x minus x1 for my ordered pair is -8. Okay, so I filled in the 3 parts for point slope, and now solving this, anytime I have minus a negative, that becomes plus a positive. Remember, my first step in order of operations is to get rid of my parentheses. So I need to distribute, so I have y minus 3. 1/4 times x is 1/4 x. And 1/4 of 8, so remember you can multiply the tops, so 8 times 1 is 8, and divide by the bottom, so 8 divided by 4 is just plus 2. Last step in getting it into slope-intercept is getting y by itself, so I just got to add 3, and it's y equals 1/4 x plus 5. That's my final answer, okay? All right, let's try another one here. Okay, so I have my x1, my y1, and then obviously that's my m. So y minus y1 is 6 equals my slope of -1/2, parentheses x minus x1 for my ordered pairs is 1. So I plug in my parts. Now I just need to get y by itself. So let's get rid of the parentheses. So distribute this in, -1/2 times x is just -1/2 x. -1/2 times -1, a negative times a negative is a positive, and half of 1 is still just a half, okay? Then last step in getting y by itself is add 6 over. So I get y equals -1/2 x plus, and you can use your calculator for this, 6.5. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and pause the video. Let's just have you guys do 3 and 4. So pause the video, try 3 and 4, and then you can play when you are ready. All right, so number 3, y minus y1 is -1 equals the m of -2, parentheses x minus x1 from the ordered pair is 3. Okay, minus a negative becomes plus a positive up there, and now let's get y by itself. So first thing I need to do is distribute. So y plus 1, -2 times x is -2x, -2 times -3 is +6. And then last step to get y by itself is subtract 1. So y equals -2x plus 5. Okay, and then number 4 over here, y minus y1 from the order pair is 0. M is -2/3, parentheses x minus x1 is just 4. Okay, y minus 0 is really nice because y minus 0 is just y, right? So y is already by itself. I just need to distribute on the right-hand side. So -2/3 times x is -2/3 x. And -2/3 times -4 is a little more challenging. We know a negative times a negative is a positive. Okay, multiply the tops. So 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, 2 times 4 is 8. And then 8 divided by the bottom, 8 divided by 3 is just 8/3. So it's going to just be 8/3. You can make that a decimal if you really want to, but 8/3 is fine. Okay, so that's writing it with the point and the slope. Now what happens looking at 7 and 8, if I don't have a slope. So we worked on this with slope-intercept as well. If we don't have a slope, remember the first thing we need to do is find a slope. So m equals y minus y. So remember, fraction bar, 2 minus signs. Stick your y's on top. So y minus y over x minus x. So 4 plus 2 is 6. 8 minus 4 is 4. 6 over 4 reduces to 3 over 2. Okay? So at this point, in our previous slope-intercept world, we had a nice ordered pair. Okay? We had a nice ordered pair that had an x value of 0. So we could easily see our y-intercept. In this case, we don't have that easy y-intercept. We have 2 points that have x and y values both. Okay, so at this point, you just very simply make a choice. Which ordered pair do you want to use? It honestly does not matter which one you pick. Generally, if I can find one with only positive numbers, I'll pick that. So that's what I'm going to do. So now my point slope form, y minus y1 from the ordered pair I chose is 4 equals the m of 3 over 2 that we just calculated. Parenthesis x minus x1 from the ordered pair is 8. Okay. So now we got to get y by itself. So y minus 4. 3 over 2 times x is just 3 over 2x. 3 over 2 times negative 8. Positive times a negative is a negative. 3 times 8 on top is 24. 24 divided by 2 on bottom is 12. Okay, and then last step to get y by itself is add 4. And we end up with y equals 3 over 2x minus, what would that be, 8. Okay, so the only thing different about these problems is this part right here, right? First thing I have to do is calculate my slope. So once I calculate my slope, I pick an ordered pair, and then I go from there, okay? All right, so go ahead and pause the video, try 9 and 10, and then you can go ahead and play when you're ready for me. Okay, so number 9, first thing I need to do is calculate slope. So y minus y over x minus x. Change the plus a positive on top and bottom. Negative 4 plus 1 on top is negative 3. 8 plus 4 on bottom is 12. That will reduce to negative 1/4. So there's my slope. Pick a point. I'll just pick this one because it only has one negative. So now I have y minus, y value for my ordered pair is negative 4, equals m that I just calculated as negative 1/4, parenthesis x minus x value is 8. All right, minus a negative becomes plus a positive. Getting y by itself, I first have to distribute, so y